Welcome to Friday Try Fiesta.
What a lovely
Hello.
choice of song.
Thank you. Hello, everyone that I didn't say hello earlier to before the song. And I want to thank Mark for sharing the song and the history behind the song because it really changed my perspective towards the song and a lot of things. First, towards the song, I have heard it so many times before since I live in America since 2003. Um, but when I actually read the story, I'm going to have to mute someone. Uh, okay. You muted yourself. Thank you. Yeah, I was hearing like plastic bags and stuff, and probably others hear it too. Anyways, so when Mark shared the story, it's so much deeper than just a song. It's a whole history thing going on behind it, and more. So I encourage you to see the paint post. It's amazing. And also wanted to share a couple of things here because Ankara asked me earlier what star I am from, and I said I don't know, whatever the mermaids come from, because I was not told my parents, and I doubt that they even know about these things. And many years ago, before I left Bulgaria, my dad told me, Rosita, when you're in a different country, don't ever speak religion and politics. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And I listened, and I got to, I'm going to mute you, Levis, I'm sorry. Um, and then I got to think that religion separates people and faith is what unites them. And then for many years, we have heard music brings people together. As it is, it also separates them. And I recently realized that I used to think that my people are my techno people and everybody else is job labor. But before that, it was piano only. But you know what, though? A lot of times I'm amongst my techno people and I feel alone. And music also can separate people. Like, my people are my techno people. No, they're not. Your vibe attracts your tribe, and your people don't have to listen to techno or country or whatever. But that moment that brings us together, the moment of it happening, that magic, that's unexplainable magic of vibration and frequency, that oneness, that joy, it doesn't have a name and it doesn't separate. Dang, I just got another ka-ching sound. It always gets me. I fucking love the ka-ching sound. Anyways, just wanted to share thoughts on that. I have more, but I will share in a post because there's quite a few posts that I have in mind. I've just been kind of trying to hold back on posting too much as notifications pile up faster than I plow through them. That's the truth. And without further ado, I wanted to bring Ankara here and please share what you wanted to share. It's so interesting, and I'm just so unaware of most of the things you were talking about. Hi.
Hey, Rosita. Pleasure to be here. What's up, tribe? I see everybody in the live here, and I'm so grateful to be connecting with you all. A lot of you already know some new faces and new people. So hey to everybody who I haven't met with yet. Um, Thank you, Rosita, for allowing me the space to come here and connect with the community and the tribe and share a little bit of my light and my story. You asked me a little bit about the star nations and star tribes, um, I can't remember what triggered that conversation. What was the initial, like, how did we come into that conversation? You don't know. Okay.
No idea. We talk so
I
much
think
everywhere that
I think it
it's
was
like,
in one community, and someone asked this question like, "Are you from?" Now you ask me, I think, Ankara, if I'm from Arcturus or something like, or Arcturians are here. You posted, and
right,
I'm
Yeah.
right.
like, and I said yes, and then Rositza kind of went in like, I don't know what that is, or something like that. All right, I don't know, something like that.
Just being honest, man.
Well, I have to confess. Oh wait,
I'm not
somebody said
familiar either. I'm not either
Um,
familiar.
oh, good.
when a lot of people hear that question, they're like, "I'm from Earth. What are you talking about?"
Well,
But
wait. Let's ask everyone. Does anybody? What is it
yeah.
called? Aquarian?
No, Arcturians
Actuarians. Does
or
Anyway,
anybody
Sirius, from
know
people from Sirius
Actuarian?
or Palladium. Yeah, there's different star beings.
all right. So raise your hand on the screen
I,
if you know you're from the stars. Raise your hand if you know you're from the stars.
well, I am from the stars for sure. Which stars though?
Okay, good place to start. So maybe put in the chat so we can count numbers. How many people know they're from the stars? And then just put stars. And if you think you're from the earth and you're an earthling, put earthling in the chat so we can see and see what we get here. All right,
Earthling is
here.
a great way of putting it. I'm also an Earthling though.
That's the beauty of this all is that we get to be both, you know, and I feel like we can be and we are both. Is it Zani? Sorry, I forgot to pronounce your name. Chanie. You raised your hand.
Honey, like honey.
Hani. I said it before. And I apologize. I forgot, but I didn't want to butcher it, so I just
Can you take a
Hani.
moment and explain what are you talking about from the stars? Of course, we're from the stars. We're both. We're a combination. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
we are getting there. We're buttering the bread right now. So basically, you know, I've always been fascinated with the stars, and I think it's something too that most indigenous cultures, if you look at, you know, the ancient ones and the place of our origins, a lot of these cultures and tribes talk about, you know, our origins being in the stars and coming from the stars, right? So I wanted to talk a little bit into that because actually my connection to the stars and understanding who I am and where I'm from, what star constellation is my home, has everything to do with my story and when I connected with an indigenous elder from the Lakota tribe. So this man's name was Chief Golden Light Eagle. And Chief Golden Light Eagle is a wisdom keeper. He's also a part of the Galactic Federation or the Star Council. And all this is a little interesting and maybe hard to wrap your mind around. In the beginning, trust me, it was hard for me too. I'm out there. I'm a guy who's, you know, gone to many deep, multifaceted places and realms in my life. And when I heard this story, I had a hard time believing it. So, like, just breathe into it. You don't have to believe the story or anything. Just, you know, take it for science fiction, if you will. But I had an opportunity to meet Chief Golden Light Eagle uh, about 8 years ago. And at the time, he was doing a tour around the country talking about his book called The Symbols. So if you're interested in learning more about Chief Golden Light Eagle, his life, and what he did, get this book called The Symbols. And essentially, there's 22 or 44 symbols, and each one kind of represents a different like energy or deity or different like tribal meaning. And so when he came to speak about his book, he was telling the story of how he was on this Galactic Federation that would be the ones who met with, you know, the star beings when they came down to Earth. And he told this super interesting, fascinating story. And I'm like, this guy's got to be like doing peyote or like some kind of psychedelics or something, because he's out there. So I asked him after, I'm like, do you work with like peyote or other psychedelics? And he's like, no, I don't even drink alcohol. I don't do anything, but this is just all like direct knowledge and link ups. So the end of that presentation, I decided that I would gift him with one of my tools. I make these crystal and copper elemental ankhs, and
Oh,
so
nice.
so I decided that I would gift Chief Golden Light Eagle one of these copper ankhs. So
That
as our
reminds me of what Yarna has with him in Egypt. Did you make that one?
He knows the dude who makes them.
Ah, it's very similar to what you've got, right?
Yeah, like I mean, it's also with copper and crystals. I mean, it's a great technology. Ankara knows more about that, I think. Yeah. Mm.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
there,
So
and crystals actually allow us to communicate via phone right now. So without crystals, we wouldn't be able to have this conversation.
that's
Yeah.
right. Also, there's crystals inside your ear. You have crystals in your pineal gland inside of your brain. Your bones have crystalline structures such as apatite and calcite. So you are a biocrystalline being. You're a living, walking crystal, essentially. Crystalline, the term crystalline just defines like something that's organized, symmetrical, has a sort of like higher intelligence design.
Like the
It's not
Christ.
exactly the crystal, the
Yeah.
Christ. Behind me, yeah. So,
Mhm.
so when I approached Chief Golden Light Eagle with this copper technology, I handed it to him, and the first thing he says to me is, "Oh, you're from Arcturus, and your number is 444." And I was like, "What? What do you mean I'm from Arcturus? Did you raise your hand, bro?"
No, I was saying hi to Delvian.
Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, family?
Sorry.
So basically he said, "Oh, you work with copper, and copper is the conduit of communication with the star Arcturus." So I'm like, "What? This is very interesting. Tell me more. Like, I need to understand this because I don't even know what you're telling me right now." So he proceeds to tell me that he was summoned by a group in Miami, Florida, which is I'm from the state of Florida, so it's very interesting. This man is a Lakota from South Dakota, thousands of miles away, but he was summoned by people in Miami studying this phenomenon that were, I guess, known as sand circles. So instead of the crop circles in the fields, these were sand circles that appeared here in Florida on the beaches and around in different communities in the sand. So he was taken to these different sites to observe, um, what he could decipher from these different sand circles. He notices that each one of these sites, which there's 6 in total, he notices that each site, the address to the nearest location where the sand circle is 444. Like each one of the 6 sites had the same address, 444 Ocean Street. The address of the mini mall was 444. So they all aligned. The very last place that he was taken to observe was a place in Little Cuba in Miami, okay? And so he was ushered into this family home and taken out into a gazebo area where there was a circle of hundreds and hundreds of pennies, copper pennies, and in the center of these concentric circles was a spacecraft. And so he's blowing my mind, I'm like,
Oh,
what?
my
So,
mother would love this conversation.
right, it's out there, it's a little, like I said, maybe this is just a sci-fi story, who knows, but needless to say, he's taken to the craft and he looks inside and he notices that the engine technology is actually formed from crystals. That the crystals were what powered this craft. And the people who were curating this craft told Chief Golden Light Eagle that the pilots or the people who inhabited this craft were from Arcturus, and that they needed copper to connect and to communicate with the star Arcturus, which is in the constellation of Bootes. And it's interesting.
Is it my
Yeah, he
internet
cut
or
out, right? No,
it's a
it's
good
his.
quote?
I thought so.
It looks like a really beautiful picture. This one.
Yeah, he's frozen. Yeah, it's a nice
He
photo.
just looks into the stars right now.
Yeah. Oh no. Where? Oh yeah, he's back. You're back.
Yes.
Kind of maybe
Hi.
he's into. Hi, how
Nice.
are you, Dobby? And good to see you. Missed you last time.
Hello.
I know I was so busy the past week and the week before that as well. So I'm actually
Gotcha.
glad to have made it today.
Yeah, I'm glad too.
Yeah.
Ankara, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of drifted away and then came back.
Okay, my apologies.
Did the stars
Yes.
being took you?
Yeah, you were frozen in a really
Did,
good
did
pose
they
looking
took
at
you
the
away?
stars.
That's funny. So yeah, that's basically the story that I wanted to share, and so we all can discover and find out. What I was saying is that is through a series of life events, stories, collections of symbols, and meeting specific people that will guide you, where you will be able to open up and connect with your specific star system and what
Hmm.
star you're from. Like some people are from Lyra, like they're very cat, people that are cat people and all into cat energy. That's Lyra, There's
Yeah, bro.
yeah,
Look at that.
Sekhmet.
Ah,
Yes,
that's what that represents. That's
it's
that's what they
segment.
like. The all the pyramids
Anubis.
has those half
The
cats.
pyramids, the pyramids are built, or what means like the knowledge that we have, or like the human race is basically like a mix between from different star beings, Lyrans, Pleiadians, Arcturians, people from Sirius, and they're all built together like the Galactic Federation, basically. And
Mm.
I wouldn't, if anyone would have asked me like years ago, like I would thought they're nuts. I'm also like, because I haven't grown up like that. Experiences in the last years and meditations just proved me differently. And the people that I meet and we know each other somehow, and just like conversations happening, and in meditations just clear yeses come around. Um, Even seeing some weird phenomena in the sky myself just made me think differently. So I'm open to it. I love this conversation actually, because I'm in those pyramids these days. I'm right now between Saqqara and Giza Pyramid, and I came here. My third eye is just glowing. So my third eye and my crown chakra is just pumping, and I had the best sleep, and I have the best meditations, and just like everything's so easy right now inside my physical body. So they're like energetic places, and I kind of know how to utilize energies. And we're just kind of like children in evolution. We've been told from school that we are like the most advanced beings. Like bullshit. Would advanced beings kill each other? I don't think so. Like, I don't really think so. I think they would work together as an organism and
Mhm.
to really support and love each other. I think this is what, yeah, they were all about. Hmm.
I think we have choice, and we have more choice than other beings. And we have choice to go much higher than other beings, but also much lower.
Hmm.
Mm.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
duality, I think we can't appreciate the one if we haven't experienced the other. Yeah.
I have a question, Ankara, about the stars. Is it
Yes, ma'am.
related is it related to animals? Because I feel a very strong knowing of what animal is like my totem.
Uh-huh.
Is
What's
it
that?
related to that? I
You want to
actually
share?
I actually
Ah,
got
yeah.
I actually got a feather from a live eagle, and I know that that's my angel.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
That's really, really special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I always
yeah.
resonated with eagles. I see myself as an eagle. I connected with eagles, and once when I was in a very
I love
desperate
that.
time in my life, I received that feather, and she told me, "I'm with you."
Hmm. Yeah, eagles are very, very potent, and to have an eagle feather is very rare and very special. So it's like in the indigenous cultures of North America, that's like the highest honor, like the highest form. You were given an eagle feather in ceremony, like for a special honor, recognition, and it was like something that you wore with you and like you kept very sacred.
Yeah.
So the eagle is very, very special for sure. So in regards to the animal being connected to planets, the Huichol people are the tribe. They're a tribe from Central America, from Mexico. Um, they're also known as the Huirarica. The Huirarica is the indigenous name for them, but we call them the Huichol tribe,
Mm,
and they're peyote guardians. But they have a story that everything on Earth was came here from the stars, and so like each different tree, each animal, each type of species on the Earth came from a different planet.
mm,
So like we were here, like all these different beings were manifesting and materializing on Earth from other star systems, and then we were waiting for the very last one, the very last embodiment of an animal was the little blue deer, Venadito Azul. And that was the deer when it appeared and began to walk on the desert floor, the peyote like blossomed from its footprints, or its hoof prints. So yeah, animals are definitely connected to star systems. What I would do is go on a personal journey search, because I could tell you like, oh, what it is or what it means. But I think with that intention, start to search, the connection between eagles and star systems. You'll find through indigenous teachings and things like definitely
mm.
the path that you want to go towards.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I'm very open-minded, and I'm open to our multidimensionality. So I'm open to it all. What would you say is like a next step that you would encourage any of us to take on this journey? Like actually go visit indigenous tribes?
That's a great space to start. It's maybe difficult for some of us or most of us to have that
Mm,
find that connection, because it's sometimes it has to be sought out. But when you're on that path and you're in going in that direction, it'll start to come to you in different ways. But as
Mhm.
far as like a next step, I would say is that inner knowing, like connecting with and listening to yourself and your inner knowing, because there's so much of like we can listen to a YouTube video or read a book or go in another place to find answers, but you know you the best.
I love that.
And so
I believe in that.
sitting with
Yeah.
right? Sitting with yourself in meditation and quietude, and then asking. I have a whole process for me that I call the calm system, but it's basically a process where I cover and protect myself with light. I call in my spirit animals, call in the elevated ancestors, and then when you go out into your journey on your meditation, energetically you're protected and surrounded by that light, by the four directions, by your ancestors. You know what I mean? So it's a whole journey to get to that space where like, yeah, I'm from Arcturus, but I would say be curious, research, and look at the eagle and the indigenous teachings of the eagles and the stars, and you'll find that connection that you're looking for.
Thank you.
Mm.
Appreciate
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah. People will tell you like how it's been for me. Like I've just met many people, and I always struggled with that to point it down to one, and I still somehow do, to be honest. I have a connection to what I feel most home is Sirius B. It's just like what feels from my heart. Then also Arcturians are very present within this life with me. Lurins, so the felines, the cat beings. It's always also about like our mission here. I had dreams with eagles several times where they're just like 5 eagles standing in front of the door. I open the door and they're like this eagles, like humanoid eagles just standing in front of me in a dream.
Wow.
So yeah, and people tell you like in the most unexpected way, set the intention as I think is the best thing, and then the things are always on your way. Yeah.
What changes, like for you, for example, Yana, and for Ankara, what changes when you know where you're from? Like, do you change your attitude or your being, or you just no?
You just have like a proof of that which always has been within you. You stop questioning yourself and you start being yourself because you always have been that. It's more like a remembering of who you always have been. And everything, every try just stops you. We stop trying to be anything, anyone, because we know who we are more and more of.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, it's about knowing the bigness of what that means, and that we are beyond like the physical flesh and the materiality of this plane. That we have this, this soul, this infinite aspect of us that the body inhabits, right? So connecting those dots and knowing, like having that knowing, for me, it's not a question. People can't even, no one can sway me from that knowing of who I am and where I'm from. And so when you have that knowing, you can walk with direction and purpose. You know what I mean? Like you see, you have the bigger mind, that as above image of who you are. And it's not about like an ego or telling people like that you're so, big and great and awesome, but it's about knowing that on a multidimensional level, that you are so massive that you actually are the universe. You are starlight, you are star being. This is like profound, because then you can see where I traveled, how many eons of time across space to get here. This is big. Now what's my mission?
Mm-hmm.
Why did I come through? Like I see us up there, we're like, I call it the journey of the inner journey to outer, or no, what is it called? The inner journey of outer space. And basically what it is like we're waiting at the edge of a star. Let's say we're in this astral body and we're deciding to reincarnate and come back into this life, and it's like we know like our past, and we know our certain challenges and things that we are going to face, and we see when the stars are coming around, okay, now Leo's over here on my rising, okay, it's almost my time. And then we jump into this life from
I don't even know that. Like, I look at constellations and I can see the deeper, the small one and the big one, but that's it. And also the moon. That's like a major thing for me. I'm watching the moon and going with it in different endeavors, business and life in general and everything, but not really the stars. I don't recognize the stars per se, even though it was really interesting for me to study astronomy. I don't remember shit about it.
Well, think about this, like when as kids, like we go to the movies and we venerate these stars, this Hollywood stars, like that's stars on Earth. So the whole thing is about like, where is your attention going? We're watching the stars on the movie screen, when really there's a whole bigger system of stars out there. And connecting with that is like they say that that is the ancestral realms, like when they make their transition and move, that they embody these specific stars, you know what I mean? So for me it's about looking up. They got us watching the watch down here on the wrist, taking risks, but what we can do is start to connect with the real natural clock of the stars and the planet, the moon, all of those. There's rhythms of the earth, like we have a solar cycle, we have a lunar cycle, we have like a grand cosmic cycle. So when you start to see that clock unfurling in the sky, you can start to find your place in time and like the real natural time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does, and
And
also
also,
if you know that has something to do with the circadian rhythm as well. It's when you feel awake is when you get the sunshine and the sunlight, the light of the day, and then you kind of feel sleepy when it goes away. And like many people follow these natural rhythms for their sleep, like I do for sure, and it's very beneficial for your health. And I'm sure Sharon here has a lot to do to say about this, following the circadian rhythms with the light of the day and the darkness of the night, and how healthy this is for you. I don't have the scientific terminology and proof right this second, but I'm a living proof for myself that is really helpful and healthy for the body and for the mind as well. Like one example of that is uh, I've I've got so much more focus and productivity since I started looking at when it gets dark. I just wind down, even though I don't fall asleep immediately. Sometimes I try to, I do my best, and then before sunrise, I rise and start being very intentional about the entire day. And when the sun comes out, I'm ready for it. And the whole world is celebrating. And if you look outside and you see the nature, I mean, like, granted, if you're not like in a big city with a lot of no nature around, then you can see the birdies, the ants, everything kind of wakes up and celebrates the sun.
Yeah.
I love that.
So something that about that and connected with the stars is, as you said, Ro, like waking up before the energy of the sunlight and the day comes through. Like that's when everybody starts to wake up and hustle and bustle, go to work, and the day starts. So there's like the energy activation goes way up. So if you wake up before the sun rises, for me, like my special time is 4:44 a.m. So I will rise up at 4:44. I'll go out and I face the direction of Arcturus. Like they have an app where you can look and find the stars, and like so I could face towards Arcturus, and I just start to connect with my star system. I use my
So
copper.
Arcturus is a star system or an actual star, or is it like nowadays existing?
Arcturus is a star. It's the brightest, the second brightest star in the northern hemisphere. It's in the constellation of Bootes.
Okay, so it's just like a star. It's kind of
Botes.
like the sun, but is it bigger or smaller than the sun?
It's much bigger than our sun. It's like this. It's the second brightest star in the northern hemisphere. So it's like I don't know how much bigger or whatever and brighter, but it's like magnitudes larger than our sun.
Mhm.
So you can
What's the
actually,
first? Sorry.
no, I was just going to say, you can actually find your star. Like once you figure out what it is, you can face that star at night and you can start to connect with that star system.
That's cool. Well,
I
what's
can
the
also
first
like
brightest
I would say one thing to this, because like how do I find my star, right? Or how do
Yeah.
I find everything really is becoming silent. And I think like those hours that you talked about are just like great for that. And what am I drawn to? Like where do my eyes go? You know, what's my intuition telling me? And creating space for that as well, for that contemplation and just for that answer to find you, you know, and just being open, like which star is attracting to, and then just feel into it and look how it makes you feel. If you can clean yourself in a way that you just open yourself up to receive. Because the most of the time that we try to seek or we try to push, like we actually push things away rather than being the magnet and pulling it in or meeting it halfway, so to say. Because
Mhm.
everything actually, it's not even pulling or pushing, but it's meeting life halfway in everything that we do. So, yeah, every time I try to think of it, every time I try to get something done or to find an answer, it gets just weirder. But if I let go and I'm just following the trust that I have in me and God, in creation itself, then it just finds me.
I have two questions, if I may. Um,
Yes.
my first question is how how do you know if a star on the sky is your previous home? I mean, we could have been in a situation where you're coming from multiple stars in a
Right.
way.
Hmm.
And my second question is, when you look up at the star, the distance to that star is enormous. It takes light several hundred years to reach us. How do we know that we're not looking at our past selves in real life, so to
Mhm.
speak?
You muted yourself, Ankara.
That's a great question, by the way, Valentina.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
like both
perfect.
of the questions are, yeah, very good.
Yeah. So in regards to your first question, I would definitely say that, like for me, Arcturus was probably my most recent home before Earth, but I know that I'm a part of the greater uh, universal oneness, and so that like the ultimate form is that that zero point, you know, the nothingness, like, or we're not from any of those. But then when with that explosion of light, we're connected to many different of those points of lights for sure. So meaning that we can be from multiple different star systems at the same time, and you can have different energies, just like you have two parents and four grandparents and so on. You can be like your most recent parent is where you're from, but your lineage could be from, you know, different areas of the earth. So you get what I'm saying? Like you can be a hybrid, if you will. You can be a hybrid star being.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The hybrids are here.
I feel like that's me.
Yeah,
A hybrid,
I
huh?
love it.
So
What
Mhm.
I
I
want to
Yeah,
I want to know in the chat, is anybody feel like more like maybe they are actually connected with the stars and that they come from the stars originally? Like type in the chat if this conversation has opened your mind or like a possibility for you. Yeah, what were you gonna say, Ro?
Oh, was I gonna say something? Maybe I was, and I forgot. I just looked at the chat when you say look at the chat, so I just looked at the chat.
I actually think that we are all hybrids, and that we
Mm.
humans, I mean, like alone in our DNA, you know, like what Ankara just mentioned, and how it plays out. I think the dominance is depending on what we're here to experience in this life. I think those energies are predominant in this physical incarnation, and we can choose different incarnations with different experiences. And depending on what we choose before incarnation, um, our body is structured in that way, and we feel drawn to certain things because of this longing of experience, what we chose in the past. So, and it's also not really going into the future. I think it's more like going back to where we came from and remembering that we are one and that we came from oneness and that we return to oneness as well.
Mhm. Yeah, and what Valentine said also, I feel like the the way we're looking at time is all fucked up in
Hmm.
here in this 3D world where, like, there's past, present, and future, and the way it's looked at from quantum physics is more speaks truth to me, at least, as like everything happens at the same time, really, and there's
Hmm.
no, it's not like linear.
This is why the past changes the moment you change the present. Have you ever looked into the same situation in your childhood as an example and you've seen two different things just because you changed in the now? Many times for me, I thought I had a horrible childhood, but for the last 7 years, or like I just started to see the bright side of it. I couldn't see it when I was in it. So again, it's very relative. And also like in the things that are happening, how many surprises have we experienced? Things just came along and our plans just got destroyed. Our linear plans got destroyed every
Mm.
single time. Like for me at least. And to step out of that and to see what do I want to experience now? Like, what's my next step rather than, or in 2 months I will. Like, I don't fucking know what's happening from now to 2 months' time. So I better look what's here right now. And I haven't experienced any time in those 52 minutes that I'm here. So time for me right now wasn't really present. It was more like a conversation that really felt like home. I think something that really needed to happen because those conversations, we might not be able to grasp it with our mental understanding. And I don't think that it is about understanding. I think it is about an inner knowing that's revealed through silence, not through thought. Maybe insights, yes, but insights is a combination of thought, intuition, emotion. So again, those things are more like one than separate things. We can't separate our emotions, our mental body, our emotional body, our physical body. We can't separate them because they're all interconnected with each other. This is why the 5 pillars and that I recreated I wanted to show like a new picture of that because I work on my mental health, but I also work on my body. My body is made of water. My thoughts influence the water in my body. The way I speak to myself, like why do certain people have a certain body structure than others? It is because of the way that they speak to themselves. It's because of the decision they have made in the past, the things that they consume, the things that they choose to transmit, that they choose to hold in their energy field. So when we know our bodies of water and we know that water saves memory, everything is stored inside our water. So, and everything is water. Like we are like in this liquid ocean experiencing life in so many different ways, but we are all interconnected. We all feel each other in this moment. We all share the experience in this moment. And there's no real difference between that because we all feel each other. So it's a very wonderful experience, to be honest, to come back to that awareness. And I think many spiritual people, I had a conversation yesterday with a friend. He done this Kundalini activations for years and this deep breath work for years, but not bringing it down into the body, always trying to move it up, up, up. And we want to reach up, 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 and we want to go higher and higher and higher. I think I'm here. Also the physical exercises that I mentioned in the body vitality thing. The reason why I started this course It wasn't for me to master that root block or anything like that. For me, it was to bring my soul fully into this physical existence and to perform the miracles that beings on this earth do for thousands of years, like Indian yogis. If you read biographies from Yogananda and stuff like that, I mean, there are beings walking this earth for thousands and thousands of years that perform those miracles. Why can they do this? And Jesus told us as well, like, you will do things as I did and more. So guys, it's our time now. Like even those ancient tribes, like Ankara mentioned, they carry wisdom. You know, the prophecy said also that we are it. The second coming of Christ is being talked about many times as well, and it's within every one of us. It's not that anyone is more special than the other. It's all a lie. It really is all a lie, and we have the capacity to change time now, to change this timeline now, to create a world that we actually want to live in now, you know, by being that what we want to see.
Yeah, that's why people say be the change you want to see,
Yeah.
you know. So
Mm.
true.
That was a big time because I was talking about all of these things, and a friend of mine in Australia, when all of these things ramped up for me a few years ago, he wrote in my car, be the change you want to see in the world, because I was talking about these concepts, because I got those concepts and those downloads from a child on, like I came here very much like that. But when the ego developed, like, and I tried to justify it, I tried to prove it. But the moment we try to prove anything to anyone or to ourselves is when we lose it. We don't have
Mm,
to prove anything.
yeah,
We just have to be.
yeah, that's so prominent when you are playing a show in front of people because the energy is amplified. And the moment your ego comes up and you're like trying to prove I'm the shit or whatever, you screw up real bad, you know.
Right.
And I have noticed that so many times, not just with musicians, but all kinds of artists and people that speak in front of people, like a lot of people, you know. And that's when it gets you the stage fright, the whatever. People has different names, different demons or whatever that come to you and obsess you, but you because you allow them. But if you just like stand back and you focus on the others and growth and contribution and not on yourself, then you're protected. You're ultimately protected from absolutely everything.
Mm.
But yeah, what you just said, it resonated with that because it's very prominent when there is like huge crowds of people and the performer or the artist or the speaker or whatever goes on stage, and that is very amplified. Like it's immediate thing, and a lot of people don't even notice it. I mean, it's okay, you know, shit happens, but the person knows. And how much is the person aware actually? And most call it, oh, stage fright. Oh, I'm nervous or this or that. And in reality, it is that you're feeling separated from
Mm.
everyone else, which you're not.
Yeah.
You're all one.
Also, and Cara, like one thing, and then I would love to have you talking. I stopped talking then. I could talk about these things for ages.
Thanks.
And it is about like going to inner space, try to seek everything outside of ourselves, but it's inside of us. And the moment that we shift inside, the outside is shifting as well. Mm.
Yes, sir. That's the inner
What a
journey,
beautiful
inner journey to
conversation.
outer space.
What's
Inner
that?
space, yeah.
Yeah, I just said the inner journey to outer space. Um, I wanted to let you know that I got another room that I'm hopping into at the top of the hour. But
Yeah. Dang.
Ro,
The time flew by so fast. I actually have to go. Thank you so
yeah,
much for sharing everything with us. And thank you
yeah,
everyone for coming.
Last thing I wanted to point out is I don't know if you chose your necklace today, but you've got a star on your necklace. So I'm pretty sure you're from the stars, Ro.
It's a sea star.
Hmm.
But
From
I
the-
also have 9 necklaces on with a bunch of things.
9? Sheesh.
I always wear them. I don't take them off even if when I take showers.
9
I
is
mean, I get that
completion.
part, but 9? Sheesh.
9 is about
It's a mermaid
completion.
thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
9 is
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
also.
having
much
me,
for
Ro.
coming.
Appreciate you.
Thank
I
you.
love you.
One
Have
love.
a great day.
You all.
Yes,
One
thank
love.
you for all of that.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.